So the first question is, what do you feel is the most significant and helpful information you learned in the metacognitive portion of our first unit?
I put the most important thing I've learned about this unit is like about the sleep part and how sleeping is really effective.
I put almost put like it's affecting not only mental but physical because you can get diseases but also anxiety and depression.
Like sleep is?
From less not getting enough sleep.
I put get lots of sleep because it's important. It gives you energy and increases your thinking skills, and it will reduce your chances of getting sick.
And it will help you remember stuff and lock in everything that you're learning and that stuff.
So it helps you from not getting Alzheimer's.
Prevents you from not getting Alzheimer's. Yeah. It does.
Crystal?
Don't drink caffeine during the day.
Why?
Because it messes up with your mind.
When
What?
you're sleeping.
Midday. If you drink caffeine midday until it sticks to your brain.
It was 12 hours before you go to sleep. You can't drink caffeine.
That's your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And then without enough sleep, you'll also fail quizzes and you won't do that well. It was higher percent people who got more sleep failed the test than people who didn't get enough.
Because you can't remember everything because your brain doesn't have enough energy to remember the stuff, I guess. So that's why it's good. Get sleep. So then you can do good on stuff like this.
And it also, with athletic, it increases your ability to play. You'll be able to play more and sweat more.
So you just have a better mindset.
Yeah.
Overall. And you learn stuff. Everybody agree with that?
Yes. Does anyone have anything else to add?
No.
No?
Well, also, when we learned about how you can grow your intelligence, you always have to be challenging your mind so that your intelligence can grow.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have any evidence for what they said?
I had one guy that we listened to,
Talking?
the doctor dude.
Oh, the
Yeah.
professor.
I had that too, but I really can't pull from it because I didn't read to it.
Yeah. The articles that we read about sleep.
That's true. Okay, next question. What learning and or reading strategies do you find most helpful?
I said taking notes, because if you have notes, you remember what you talked about, because it can help you do your homework, and you can stay organized.
And so I said setting up a specific way of notes, so you're organized and you have a better understanding of what.
Cornell notes.
Yeah.
That's technically what I said too. I said I found out the text. I also said the text read because you know what's coming ahead, and so then you can prepare your mind for what you're gonna read, and then so you know. And then I said I found notes taking to be the most that helped me because I remembered stuff more.
I put it's easier to learn when you're physically doing stuff. When we do drawings and then we show other people. When we talk with the whole group like this.
First up, Piper.
I just said to write things down so you remember what you need to say.
So you're taking notes helps you. It helps you with what?
Remember things easier.
Yeah. It just locks it in your brain. Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any evidence?
When we drew models of how we can improve our sleep on the desks.
Yeah, and then we did the text walk thing for me on the board to get all together.
Yeah.
Next one. What do you feel is the most significant and helpful information you learned in the communication portion of our first unit?
When we learned about the facial expressions with that YouTube video, it was like interesting to think about the like when you're talking to someone when they actually make facial expressions and you can tell what they're thinking.
Yeah, like when you do it and you don't know that you're doing it too.
Yeah.
Like what you're conveying to someone else you might not even know when you're trying to hide it.
I agree.
And that like also that your phones block connections with people when you don't see what's like in the world around you because you're always blocked by your phones. So that's why boredom was good, so you get like more creativity and you can go like talk to people and stuff and find other things to do.
Or even with texting, like you can't really tell what their attitude is, like how you like you read it a different way than what they're actually meaning.
Yeah.
So it can come out wrong.
And then my evidence for that one is the face-to-face conversations in the boredom smartphones and cultural intelligence. It says, oh wait, I have to find it now.
Do you guys have anything else to add?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
Like the same thing.
blocks you.
I agree with Ryan.
I agree with you. And good one. Okay. Okay, next question. What is something you've learned about yourself as a learner for this unit?
That I like to work more independently and take notes because I feel like I focus more on that and that I can, I don't know, I just remember stuff more and I grow more in my learning when I'm doing stuff independently.
Like, I feel like with more people, you don't learn it the same way as you would independently.
Crystal?
That I need to express myself more than I thought I should, like in conversations.
Said reading isn't bad. It can take up a lot of time.
I've learned that I should be more conscious about my facial expressions and my body. My facial expressions and like my nonverbal communications, because I'm not always thinking about what I'm doing.
Me too, that I need to learn to talk to people more and not be so scared to talk to people.
Like, come out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, like talk to people more. So that, I don't know, I see things that are around me and get used to them because that's what the real world is.
Yeah. Patrick, do you have anything to say?
It's to remember that it's easier.
Again.
Okay. Same thing. Anybody have anything else to add?
Nope.
No? Okay. Did we need to cut?
There's like a couple. Oh, what were your favorite activities?
My favorite activity. Well, I like when we were learning all this stuff about sleep because it was interesting to me because I can really relate to it. Like, I always think about how much sleep I'm getting and how it's going to affect me the next day. So that was my favorite.
I like learning about that stuff too, and I like listening to the guy on the thing because, like, coming from a, I don't know, professional, I guess, it was interesting to hear about what he had to say and what his opinions were and how he researched it.
Yeah, I agree, because, like, I feel like a lot of people that didn't know it before learned a lot of new stuff just coming from professionals.
All right, good job, guys. My apologies, I hit click or hit start and it didn't actually click when I thought I hit it. So I ended up starting it late and then guessing on how long we've gone. But you guys did a very good job of hitting all of the questions, inviting everyone in. Outside circle, what did we do well on? What were the successes that we had?
Everybody had like specific evidence to support it.
What was some of the evidence that they used?
Yep, myself, person, stuff.
Just kind of list them out.
They said a lot about like how caffeine can affect your free sleep, and someone else added in like how many hours and stuff. About the articles and the videos, the non-verbals and how to read them. And how sleep can help you from getting certain diseases and sicknesses. It can also help with your anxiety and how a higher percentage of people that sleep less did worse on the test or something. That was not always evidence to support something Riley said.
Okay. Did we have any specific quotes?
Not really.
Not specific quotes, but some good detailed shit from the general text. Yeah, good. Good. What else did we do well?
They had good main points and they kept adding on to them.
Yeah, they added on. Good.
Elaborated. They were supporting each other and their opinions, and they would invite each other in.
Did a lot of inviting. Yes. How did they support one another? Did they use very many discussion connector statements?
Not really, but they would just be like, yeah, and then they add on to that.
Right. I heard a lot of alsos, me too, and your the tone of your conversation was very supportive. Very good. So next time, and the outside circle coming in, what are some things that we can do to improve? What are things that you guys want to make sure that you do when you come in? Speaking clearly. Could outside circle, could you hear the inside circle? Okay, so a little louder volume and
Can you hear
speaking
the
clearly.
people that are faced away from me?
Okay. Okay, so keeping your volume up so that everyone in the whole room, since we're in this conversation with different roles, those who are speakers and those who are listeners, but it's a whole room conversation. Good. What else will you want to keep in mind? What about the discussion connector statements? Yeah, use them intentionally. You highlighted at least two that you want to try to use intentionally. Remember, that's like instead of just throwing the Legos in when you throw your opinion in, actually connecting them and building something. So you want to be able, or be sure to use your discussion connectors. I agree with the idea that, or I disagreed, or like so-and-so, I also, doing more of an explicit connection. Good. What else can we improve on? Inside circle. What was your evaluation?
We could probably use more like discussion transitions, like instead of using the yeah and also.
So that'll be something that you'll want to work on next time. That's great. Okay, so very nice job. Very quickly and quietly switch roles. Inside circle, make sure you know if you're a discussion tracker or content tracker, an evidence tracker, or content tracker, an evidence tracker, or a discussion connector tracker. The other, because of he's screwing up on the timer, this group did 9 minutes. 9 minutes and then you did that. So I'm gonna put 9 minutes on this one. You're just kind of summarizing what each person says. Doing your best to track those.
Mine says agree.
So you're looking at connector statements for sure, inviting in, posing questions. I agree with, disagree with, can you elaborate, those discussions.
Says agree with. What about people without like the paper?
And you're tracking evidence.
So how do I know that I should have like all the things down?
Well, just to know what it is that they are using the evidence.
You basically just write it takes
So our first question is, what do you feel is the most significant and helpful information you learned in the metacognition portion of this first unit?
I think that the most important information that I learned in the metacognition unit is that sleeping is very helpful and it can support your learning and your body.
I think the most important thing that I learned was that sleep is very important for basically everything we do, and if we don't get enough, then it can make us tired throughout the day and not let us be able to do the stuff that we normally do if we did get enough sleep.
Yeah, I agree with both of you because I think also to add on to what both of you said, when you don't get enough sleep, it can affect how your brain remembers things and how it reacts to certain situations, which can affect relationships and stuff.
I said that having a growth mindset is the most important thing that I learned because it's a good base.
Yes, and adding on to the sleep is that phones and caffeine and stuff that can hurt your sleep can keep you up and prevent you from doing your best in school and sports and other stuff like that.
With what Carlin said, the phone, if you're on it an hour before you go to sleep, it shuts off that melatonin that helps you fall asleep, so you might not be able to fall asleep like you should be able to.
I also think another part in our first unit that was important was when we talked about thinking about our own thinking and stuff, and to get a clear picture of what you're trying to tell other people or a better understanding of what you're thinking.
Yeah.
What did you think about the role?
The important thing, sleep, basically.
Does anyone have anything else to add to? Okay. The second question is, what learning and or reading strategies did you find most helpful in our first unit?
The strategy that I found most helpful was taking notes, and taking notes kind of helped me pay attention more and not want to talk to other people.
I agree with that, but also I found that sectioning long parts of information into categories was easier for me to focus and keep it organized.
What learning and reading strategy did you find yourself?
Taking notes because it helped me, I could look back and, see what I learned better.
Also adding on to all of it, I think when we did our hands-on drawing and speaking parts of class, what kind of ordering right now, but when we had the smaller circle before and when we drew with our partners and stuff, I think that was a good way for us to learn to do some stuff different and not just straight out of your notebooks and notes.
Yeah.
I said that pre-reading was, in my opinion, the best reading strategy. I don't know if that was one of the actual things that we could have put down, but I like that because we did it with the growth mindset articles that we read. It was nice.
I think that both are doing it independently and doing it in a smaller group are both good ways to focus and learn better.
Does anyone have any more information for that? Or any evidence to support the ideas?
Yeah, from the boredom, smartphones, and cultural intelligence text, when we went section by section and groups read the different parts, I found that very helpful to comprehend.
and then take them. Okay. The next question is, what do you feel is the most significant and helpful information you learned in the communication portion of our first unit?
I learned that our phones are a big distraction and they don't allow you, or they block you from communicating as well as like what people used to communicate.
I agree with you, but I also put down how we talked about our nonverbal communication and how your expressions can mean all different things. So, like, you could be saying something, but you mean something, but your face is, or like your what is it called? Facial expressions, like, are telling people something different, like how you're looking at them or something.
I thought that it was really interesting how having phones made the conversation change, and that article that I read about it cited a really interesting research experiment that they did.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that we usually communicate with nonverbal ways more than verbal ways, like by texting or just like our body language. So it was nice to learn about that.
Yeah, and with that, like how a lot of people just think of like how you just said facial expressions and body language, like, yeah, but there's also a lot more that go with it, like eye contact, tone of voice, body posture, emotions, and like your positioning within like a group to tell everybody else kind of how you're feeling.
Mariella, what do you feel is the most significant and helpful information you learned? I said that I appreciated when we learned about how phones can make the conversation flow differently.
Same having more or evidence.
Next question is, what is something you've learned as yourself as a learner throughout this unit?
I think that I learned that not just being me, but I think a lot of us enjoyed like the more fun and hands-on activities, like when we were with our partners in the hallway and stuff, and doing things like that. I think that's sometimes it's better than just listening for a long time, because I think if you're just sitting still for a long time, it can be more difficult for people to continue to pay attention because they'll get bored and stuff. I also learned that I'm a very visual learner, so when looking at things, it makes it easier for me.
I agree with that. But I also learned that I might be making a facial expression that's like that doesn't go well with the conversation that I'm having, and that I need to pay more attention to that and like my body language and stuff like that.
I agree with both of you on how doing like hands-on activity is like very helpful for learning, and we did learn about the fixed and growth mindset, and I really feel like doing like hands-on activities can help you with the growth mindset.
I learned that when we're reading informational text that's really wordy and stuff, I was able to take better notes when we apply different reading strategies.
Why do you think it was easier for you to do it that way?
Because it broke it into sections, like Carlin said, or we were able to get the ideas of the passage with reading through it.
Do you have anything to add there?
No.
All right, time's up. Very good, guys. All right, on the outside, what did the inside circle do well? Brooklyn? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brooklyn.
They all used a lot of the transitions, kind of.
Yeah.
They used them a lot more than we did, but I think that's because they knew.
Right. Right, that's the planning and the preparing for the conversation. It heightened their awareness, yeah, good,
I was just
okay. Anything else? Anything else?
but they all don't talk to each other.
They also talked a lot about it, and it's easier to understand.
Okay. Yeah, that's part of the nonverbals, keeping our volume up, our clarity in our voices. Good. What else did you notice that they did well? Insight circle, what did you think you did well on?
I think everybody got to share their information, and like everybody agreed on those two.
Okay, do you always have to agree with everyone to have a good conversation?
Well, no, but everybody did, and it just kind of kept it flowing.
Yeah, some of the best conversations are when we can challenge and disagree and qualify and justify our disagreements. That's when we really can get a collective, deep understanding. You guys did a great job of using your evidence and your connector statements, inviting people into the conversation. You guys all did a fabulous job for your first Socratic discussion. So what I'd like you to do now is go to that last page, reflect, kind of give yourself a yes, no on the check mark part, but then reflect, where it says reflect. I want your real honest opinion of your evaluation of yourself, okay? What are you thinking? How can you do better next time, right?